Agent 47 and Diana Burnwood are the world's top assassins working for the ICA. Unknowingly, they have been hired by a shadow client to target a number of operatives of Providence, a secret organization working in the highest echelons of power. Providence's controller, the Constant, approaches Diana and makes her a deal. Eliminate the shadow client and learn about 47's past. But when 47 discovers that the shadow client is Lucas Gray, his lost childhood friend, he and Diana switch sides to fulfill an old pact: destroy Providence. Together, they manage to capture the Constant, forcing him to reveal the identities of the 3 Providence partners. Eliminate them, and the war would be over. However, the Constant has an ace up his sleeve. Look closer. In the shadows. Behind the everyday world. Beyond the headlines and the seats of power. A hidden hand. A kind of company known as Providence. To it, we were just assets. To use and throw away. To do the unthinkable. The unforgivable. And it never gave us a second thought. Until now. After decades in the shadows, we are fighting back. Me and 47. Much has been lost, but we are closer than ever. We trapped the Constant, Providence's chief controller, and finally learnt the names of its 3 partners. In their downfall, we lay the past to rest. And, just maybe, look towards the future. 47. It's time.
Partners are down there. You know, I never planned this far ahead. You never do. I see someone got his memory back. Wait, is that a beacon? What the hell? Base. Alexa Carlisle's helicopter just took off. Confirm target locations, over. Diana, what's the status?
Right. We have a situation. Carlisle has left the building. And I think I know why. The Constant has escaped. He persuaded one of the sailors into setting him free. And since then, he's been seizing control of Providence assets and resources. I can only assume Carlisle is rushing to contain the damage.
If she slips away again...
We'll keep track of her. Make sure she doesn't. Meanwhile, the plan stays the same. Your destination is the Scepter, the world's tallest building where the partners are laying low, courtesy of their host, Sheikh Omar Al-Ghazali. Marcus Stuyvesant is 5th-generation old money. His family made its fortune in real estate and banking, and were at one point the chief landowners in New York. Carl Ingram is a powerful Washington kingmaker whose family grew rich selling gunpowder during the American Civil War, and later established a globe-spanning empire in oil, coal, and steel. Both families long since retreated from public view, but their quiet dominance endures to this day. Now, the partners likely suspect that we're coming, so Mr. Gray will infiltrate building controls and disable all electronic doors and elevators. Stuyvesant and Ingram are about to find they have nowhere left to run.
Right. This is our moment, 47. Providence ruined our lives with the flick of a pen. Today, we return the favor. Happy hunting.
Welcome to Dubai, 47. Today is the inauguration of the scepter, and the ceremony is well underway. You will find Marcus Stuyvesant near the building's signature art installation. While a paranoid Carl Ingram has ensconced himself in his penthouse suite, security on highest alert. Mr. Gray is already in position and ready to assist. Good luck, 47.
47. Come in. 47, do you copy?
I'm here.
Are you in position?
I'm heading towards the point of entry.
Good. Get back to me when you're there. Locked. 47, use your camera and scan the lock, will you? I think I can override the Windows controls from here.
I'm in position.
47, the inauguration is taking place close by. Once you've infiltrated it, get your bearings. I'm sure there must be floor plans somewhere.
Understood.
We need absolute focus on this one. If Ingram and Stuyvesant are alerted to our presence, we may lose them for good. We are so close, 47.
Don't worry. They're not going anywhere.
On behalf of His Royal Highness Omar Al-Ghazali, I bid you welcome to the scepter.
Welcome. Please enjoy the event.
Welcome! Welcome. Hello! Good to see you. How lovely to see so many friendly and familiar faces here today. And this has been a dream of mine for a great many years. And as all of you know, I am from one of the less privileged sides of the respectful Al-Ghazali family. But with a small loan from my father, I soon built up a construction empire that was worthy of the great Al-Ghazali legacy. So, I would like to thank my cousins, without whose friendship and influence this achievement might not have been possible. Thank you. I'm proud to yet again immortalize our great family name. But most importantly, this building is for all the people of Dubai, which is to date the tallest building in the world. I'm very proud to mention. So, I'm humbly proud to open the Burj Al Ghazali. Oh, not like that. The scepter. If you find the other name too. Now, please, be my guests and celebrate. And thank you.
Nice threat.
They could be the Sheikh's most elite bodyguards. They don't look like it. But they're
Listen,
in the direction.
I want to talk to the partners directly.
They could just be as
Make them understand why all of this is happening. And that terminal gives me an idea. There's a server room near the Sheikh's personal reception. If you can gain access to it, we might be able to recover useful intel from it. We'll have to work together to hack the system, but it's our best shot.
Love to fit, my friend.
Enjoy the exhibit, sir.
Yeah, just wanted to remind you about the lockdown drill tomorrow. That's right, 900 hours. Not the first day you've lost, still in the state.
A calendar function. We can use this to summon the partners to a fake meeting, 47. All right, I'm no hacker like Olivia, but I think you need to pull one of the racks here to gain access to the terminal. Damn it. A silent alarm has been tripped. Security is on its way. Hide, 47.
And of course, it's all fine here. Oh, I hate this system already.
System online.
Yes, sorry about that. At 47, let's try again, shall we? I think I've got it. We'll need a keycard to gain access. Someone in maintenance should have one we can borrow for a spell.
Not now, come on!
Hey, it's me. I thought about what you said. Yeah, I changed my mind. It was an insane idea myself. Exploding golf balls. I don't want blood on my hands. I've never taken things to such an extreme before. Yes. I promise I'll start attending anger management. I know I have issues.
Well, that must have done something. Can you see anything different in the room? Good. We're in. Now all you need to do is access the terminal and use the calendar option to summon the Providence partners to a meeting. Building cameras are now disabled. Good work. The meeting has been booked. The partners should be moving up here shortly. Huh. Looks like the lounge can be sealed off for private conversations. Handy. Excellent. I see the partners moving. You should join their meeting. Time to end this, 47.
No need to panic. Are you on duty tomorrow?
Yeah. Why?
Just wondered if you got the briefing on the lockdown drill tomorrow.
I got it. I'll get issued one tomorrow morning.
You know how it works?
We're gonna show that.
Now we'll just wait for the partners to be alone. Then you can activate the room's lockdown feature.
Run down and activate the other swipe as Just a minor setback. We can fix this.
What we're paid to do.
Yeah, and it'll probably never happen. Just like fire drills.
Yeah. Just like fire drills.
Guys, leave us. We need to talk privately for a moment.
The partners are alone now.
Where is he?
I'll activate the panel controlling the room's security features. When you're ready, use it to start the show.
What he wants to talk about?
No, but I've known this man for a long time. He wouldn't call us up here without good reason. I trust his people will have...
What's this? Carl? Did you do that?
I certainly did not. I have no idea what's going on.
Gentlemen.
What's the meaning of this?
You're the one responsible for all this. Gray, what do you want?
Something that has been a long time due. Revenge.
Revenge? How banal. You killed Cobb, Navikov, Caruso, the Washington twins, everyone at Haven. You broke into our bank, and you outed Providence to the world. Whatever perceived slight we've done to you is insignificant to the amount of damage you've caused us. You've caused the world.
You're a murderous terrorist. Nothing more. What did we ever do to you anyway?
You specifically? Nothing. Providence? Everything. Providence made me, and at the flick of a pen, Providence broke me. I'm just returning the favor. Providence has ruined the lives of countless people, expecting and facing no consequence for its actions. You take for yourselves and those who support you, and you burn everyone and everything else to the ground from the comfort of the shadows. No more.
You're delusional.
Exposing us achieved nothing beyond moving a few pieces around on a board much more complicated than you can fathom. The world believes we're dead. What more do you want?
Me? Nothing. My friend, however, well, let's just say he's a bit of an expert. I'm just here to watch you die. 47. Finish it. 47. Finish it. Finally, Stuyvesant and Ingram are gone. Providence will soon be no more than a bad memory. 47. Thank you. I'll meet you at the rendezvous on the edge of town. If that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, You don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
She came home.
Carlisle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlisle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlisle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlisle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlisle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlisle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlisle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
This is a private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle. Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlisle.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me that she understood the position I was in. We had a really good talk about it.
Oh, what did I tell you? She's a sensible woman. And that stuff from your ex was like manipulation 101.
I know.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra freezers. Atomic everywhere. No power. Sam, have you ever fallen in love with someone you are fighting?
Oh, stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
Look, why don't we get any kind of explanation?
Shut it down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. Oh, I could cry.
Sir, I just need to check. That's a bit excessive, I think, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
Know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
Okay, stop.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
What was he like? Did you fall for one of his beautiful daughters?
I should get back to...
Right.
yeah.
Did you get that bird shit off the front screen of my car then? I'll try. Sure about it.
I've received more information about your situation.
Mr. Ford, we can't talk here. Go back to your office. I will be there shortly.
Priming, you say? That sounds interesting.
It's like planting seeds that will grow into telling actions for work.
Listen, Gregory.
Sup?
What's the verdict, Mr. Ford? Undoubtedly, some of my assets must be safe.
No. Everything is gone.
Thornbridge Manor, surely.
That too.
But that's not possible. I'll kill him, I swear, if it's the last thing I do. Thank you, Mr. Ford. That will be all.
Huh?
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Containing and setting up a perimeter. Out.
I can't forget his eyes. Those look like Zachary. I've never seen a dead body before.
It must have been awful. Do you think it was a suicide?
I don't know. Madame Carlyle certainly doesn't think so.
Why else would she have asked that detective to come here?
But murder. Was the blood?
I just stumbled across something. I think it's a weapon.
Please, stand back. I'll check it out.
Yep.
Now, what is that doing there?
Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
What? Who left that weapon there?
Hello, sir.
'47. They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!
Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now? Over here! Cover me! Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't.
Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.
We've been compromised. Abort and walk away now.
Who?
ICA. They tracked me. Don't know how.
It's what they do. How many?
One prime asset and a whole pack of up-and-comers. They've infiltrated the club searching for us. Christ, I think I killed one of them. Get out now before they spot you.
No. They found us once. They'll find us again. Keep your head down. I'll take care of this.
Do you copy? Shit. Yeah. It's terrible reception.
Agent Price.
This is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Just keep trying, Agent Montgomery. Our client considers Agent 47 and Olivia Hall as a serious threat. You can't underestimate them.
I never do, Zhao. We'll find them. We're all in position.
Good. Report back to me if there's anything.
Don't worry.
Thames? Report, are you there? That's 2. Don't make this personal or you'll get sloppy. And clearly, he's not making that mistake.
I just heard something. I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out.
Command, something ain't right down here. Stand by while I investigate.
Alrighty.
Tremaine, are you still there? We've lost 3. If any of you have been waiting for your chance to snatch glory from the jaws of defeat, I would suggest getting it over with.
What? They just keep getting better and better.
Okay.
What was that? Command, I just heard a weird noise. I'm moving in.
Something doesn't feel right about this. He's good, but he's not psychic. He's been listening in. God damn it. Green! Agent Green, are you still there? 4 agents down. This is beyond the pale, gentlemen. I am speechless.
Hey! Help! Help me, please!
trucks. Evacuate the area immediately.
Understood.
You have to put this sticker on your bow.
Everyone's dressed up like they're
We're clear.
You killed all of them?
They got my message. Where are you?
Diner. Up the main road.
On my way. You're hurt.
You should see the other guy. Never killed nobody before. What you did back there. You really are all Gray said you'd be. 47. He didn't suffer, did he?
He made it count.
Bruised but not broken. I'm glad.
It's time we start afresh, you and me.
Get to the point.
You and your friends pulled off the impossible.
You stormed the heavens, took down the Untouchables,
And yet, here we are. Status quo.
it just goes to show you can't fight power, Miss Burnwood.
Power never dies, it only changes hands. The best you can do is
claim it.
I never cared about power.
Power is a tool, Miss Burnwood.
It's the thing that gets you to the thing. As the next constant, you can be the agent of change.
Transform the system from the inside, or be transformed by it.
No risk, no reward. I'll need to think about it.
No, you won't. The real question is, what will you bring to the table?
Look closer.
I'm telling you, the file is trash. The Constant doesn't so much burn his bridges as blow them up. Arthur Edwards, whoever he was, don't exist anymore. His personal data somehow deletes itself from any system that records him. Way beyond advanced. The partners spared no expense to make sure their controller would be untraceable.
How untraceable?
Look, I did what you asked, but Gray's gone and I'm no Diana. I'm not who you need right now. You gotta be kidding me.
ICA?
I used every encryption known to man. Who are these guys?
The best. It's only a matter of time before they get lucky. We need to take them down.
You and which army?
I know where the agency stores its files, mission reports, client data. If we leak it to the public,
You want to whistleblow the ICA?
it's the path of least resistance. Turns out, you are who I need right now, Olivia.
I do this, and I'm out. So, what are we breaking into?
Data facility in Chongqing, China. Run by a man called Hush.
Of course. The ICA site in Chongqing houses the agency's data storage and analyst division. Needless to say, security is daunting. The state-of-the-art server vault is biometrically wired to the facility's two overseers: Imogen Royce, behavioral analysis pioneer, and Hush, a data security guru with a taste for fringe transhuman experimentation.
Tell me about Hush.
A former cyber terrorist for the Ministry of State Security in Kaizo, who fled his country after one of the Po regime's periodic purges. He made a career doing cybersecurity for dark web deplorables, human traffickers, organ harvesters, scum like him, with no code or conscience. ICA sure can pick 'em. No offense.
Can you disable security?
A dual authentication protocol ensures that any handling of data must be directly authorized by Hush and Royce, the proverbial human factor devised to make the system impenetrable. Luckily, I found a loophole. If both overseers should unexpectedly die within a short space of time, the system reverts to a temporary failsafe protocol, which I can bypass. Take them off the board, and you'll have free access to the data core, and I'll handle the rest.
And you're sure it'll work?
Look, I know Hush. If I'm wrong, we won't live long enough to regret it.
All right. I will leave you to prepare.
Chongqing, China. This city is Big Brother's wet dream with more than 2.5 million cameras covering 15 million people. Privacy is a four-letter word in this place. It's pretty ironic that a cloak and dagger organization like the ICA keeps its most valuable secrets here. You'll find Hush conducting his fringe experiments in an abandoned apartment building, while Imogen Royce, the archivist, runs the day-to-day business of the ICA data facility. I just hope you know what you're doing, 47.
You shouldn't be out here with a bad influence.
What's going on in that noodle place? It's 3 in the morning, and I swear I've seen at least 4 chefs turning up for work.
I think you might underestimate the power of a late-night noodle.
What? I couldn't hear you. I said, did you find it yet? Not yet. But it has to be up here somewhere. We'll keep looking.
Are you gonna talk like that? You can go alone.
That thing looks like a crashed drone. I bet it's connected to the facility. Why don't you scan it, and I'll see what I can find out. This thing is hooked up to Royce. Pings her if it's damaged. I can't use the transfer from this one, but if you take down a couple more, I might be able to piggyback the message and gain access to Royce's phone. This place is an excellent vantage point to take down some drones. I'm in. I just need to lock down the random sequence. Give me a second.
I specifically said I wasn't.
Damn! Nilly had it. I need you to shoot more drones, and I'll lock the link. Got a lock. We can now listen in on Royce's phone calls.
Royce here, another drone just went down. It must be Hush doing this.
Again? You scared him pretty bad last time.
If you don't find out who's doing this and stop it, I'm coming up there myself.
Nice shot. Keep it up and maybe Royce will make an appearance.
I want all roofs manned and 2 additional drones launched near Hush's penthouse. If they go down to we know it's him. And then there's no more hiding. I swear he'll have to answer for this face to face.
We may get more than we bargained for if you take care of those drones near Hush. Not bad. I'll keep the signal up a little while longer.
Hush, you fucking idiot! How dare you take down my drones?
What? I did no such thing. You sent your ridiculous drones to spy on me. We have a truce, and I'm not letting your petty insecurities allow you to stake me out.
Lotus Passage, now! And I don't give a shit about your condition.
For fuck's sake, Royce. I don't have time to cater for your stupidity.
You don't have a choice. How do you think Main Branch would feel about you isolating yourself for weeks? Now, Hush, the Lotus Passage.
Well done. You've got 2 pissed-off targets on their way to meet in the Lotus Passage. Sounds like a lethal cocktail, especially with you in the mix.
Damn you, Hush.
This is ridiculous, Royce. I didn't touch your drones.
You liar! You lie about everything. You're deliberately trying to mess with me. Get me off balance to screw up my presentation.
No, you're the one who screwed up, Royce. We had a truce. You promised you wouldn't spy on me again.
Both targets in one go. You are good. My turn. Just give me a second, and I'm in. You can now access the core, 47.
Isn't the view up here amazing? Shit! What's today's code?
Oh, this chef outfit is really uncomfortable. I wish we didn't have to do all this cloak and dagger stuff every day to get to work.
You can't talk about that stuff up here.
Please, no one's listening.
Whew. Glad you're on my side.
Hey, it's me. Sorry to wake you up, but I think I forgot to turn off the coffee machine when I left.
You can hack that panel with your camera, 47.
Access granted.
Okay, thanks.
Security protocol
I forgot to
overruled.
turn off the coffee machine when I left.
Yeah, sorry. Just want to make sure it doesn't catch
Access
fire.
granted.
Ah, good. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
I just don't feel comfortable with Royce knowing intimate stuff about us. I know she's all about security, but what about privacy?
Say what?
Yeah, I know. It's just been a while since I bought a...
Access granted.
Good. You're alone. I'm sealing the room and dimming the windows, 47. No need to worry about intruders. It's all here. Clients, operatives, every hit the ICA ever sanctioned. Enough to shut them down for good. But first you need to locate all files referencing Diana and yourself.
Tell me, what did it feel like? Taking lives?
Random. Disorder.
Well, we are here. Basic training starts at 0600 hours. I should leave you to prepare. Perhaps I see possibility where others see limitation. I choose him.
The two of you go way back. I didn't realize that you... I don't know. I get why you want to protect her. So, wipe all the data referring to the two of you from their system before we publish the rest. Okay, good. I've set up a link to an information non-profit site. When you press that button, it's up there and the whole world will know. There's no undo 47. This will shut the ICA down for good. You really okay with this? It's who you've been for so long.
Maybe it's time for a change.
I'll just return things to normal. No need to alert them we were here prematurely.
Intrusion detected. Lockdown commencing.
Shit! I missed that. We're blown, 47. I can hold the doors for a little while. Use the vents to get out. Go, now!
All personnel, breach protocol initiated.
This is bad. That means they'll shoot on sight. I'm gonna create some havoc, 47. Make the core melt down. Maybe we'll divert their attention a bit.
Warning, core overheating. Warning, core shut down. Temperature critical. Warning, fire detected.
Man, yeah, I'm here now. It's all clear.
All personnel, breach protocol initiated.
Command, I have nothing to report from this.
Warning, core overheating.
Got nothing. Anybody copy? No sign of any pup. Moving on.
Warning, fire detected.
Man, got nothing. Stand by.
All personnel, breach protocol initiated.
The perp is here! He has to be! Find him! Hooah! Area clear.
Warning,
The next sector.
core overheating.
Shit. That was tense, 47.
Ah, I
is so sore.
Why's that? I fell over. Stop yourself out of bucket.
Turn now to the data leak bombshell causing shockwaves across the world, the so-called ICA files. The disclosure of
You win. So, what happens now?
The ball's in your court, Miss
Burnwood. I do have other candidates, you know. Most of whom have never tied me to a chair.
You've seen the news. That was 47 acting on his own. He is untethered, he is unstoppable, and he cannot be bargained with. He will find you, Mr. Edwards, and I'm the only chance you've got.
I'm listening.
47 has one weakness. Me.
I found something. Buenos Aires International Airport this morning. Now watch this.
Heralds.
Trail ends at the airport, but turns out that a top Providence operative owns a vineyard in the area. Don Yates, of infamous New York law firm Morgan, Yates & Cohn. And get this, is hosting his retirement party today.
She's infiltrated them. She's sending a message. She needs my help.
Could have fooled me.
You don't know her.
Anyway, if you're going after her, you'll need to deal with the Herald. Her name's Tamara Vidal, former CIA asset and political firebrand. She's a master of surveillance and the Constant's most trusted aide. She'll have eyes everywhere. You won't get far as long as she's in the game.
Why are you telling me this? I thought you were out.
Yeah. Old habits, I guess. Anyway, I need to go. See you around, 47.
No, you won't.
Because you're not an idiot. Let's just humor him. Yates likes his little games. Don't be long.
You got my message.
You'd never get caught on camera. Not unless you wanted to be seen. So what's the play?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects...
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The Herald, Tamara Vidal. She has eyes everywhere, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be. Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47.
Oh my gosh, be careful. The ground's super loose here. If we fall, we're going to seem like such idiots.
Ready, Pam? 3, 2, 1. Tina must be over the moon about John stepping down. She's been living alone here for what?
Bienvenidos to Viñeda Yates, señor. May I see your invitation, please? Gracias, señor. Enjoy the party.
Yeah, keep it real.
Evening, senor. Would you care for an aperitif?
Thank you. So, you must know everything that goes on at the event. Care to give me the lowdown?
Let's see. Most of the guests have already arrived. And let me tell you, it's like a Forbes 500 convention in there. Most are high-profile clients of Morgan, Yates, and Coln. But the Yateses are still no shows. Word is, they're still up at the house.
They haven't made an entrance yet. Curious. Any idea why?
Well, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but word is that Yates was in a great mood this morning, but that all changed when the letter arrived.
The letter?
Yeah, an honest-to-God letter delivered by courier. I mean, who writes letters anymore? Anyway, it must have been bad news, because Senor Yates heard the plant off the balcony. Big heavy one, too. It almost hit Isabel, one of the maids who had to go lie down.
Oh. Anything else?
The party is not the only thing happening at the estate. The winery is open for guests, too. You should check it out if you're interested in winemaking. It's harvest season, after all.
I might just do that. Thank you for your time, miss.
Right. Pleasant evening, senor.
Thank God it's finally over. That extra security.
Hello, handsome.
Tamara Vidal. I'm here for the tourists.
Ah, yes. Miss Vidal. My apologies. I didn't recognize you. Let me...
Corvo, got a message from the boss. Duty calls.
Let me guess, the Burnwood woman.
That's right. Yates has arranged for the chief winemaker to take Burnwood and Tamara Vidal on a grand tour of the estate. Wants you to tag along.
Not for my sparkling personality. This Burnwood woman sure has his panties in a twist. Wonder what the deal is.
Yates' business is his business. Just get yourself ready and sign into the visitor center. Oh, have a drink on my behalf.
I don't drink. Makes me sentimental. Mr. Yates.
Hello
Yeah, I
there.
got you, miss.
Nothing quite
You mind
spoiled
telling
the
me
party
what?
like your guests inexplicably dropping dead. Who were they again?
Couple of old
Yeah.
money scions,
Accident.
Ingram and
In fact, a couple of
something
spots come
Dutch
to mind.
sounding.
On the tour after.
Okay.
Not just a pub life. We're talking these things. You ain't go impress me. All right, all good. Go on. So he's a school guy. Thank you. No problem. I just never framed an urban legend before. Very post-true. Yeah, I like it.
Welcome to the Yates Winery. How may I help you?
Corvo Black. I'm on the tour.
Right, Mr. Black. Welcome. Miss Burnwood and Miss Vidal will meet you down by the wine fields. I trust you know the way?
I can find my way around.
Enjoy the tour.
You asked me. The Constant must have lost his mind. Burnwood was in league with Grey. She's responsible for killing how many of our people? How could she be a herald?
Maybe Vidal will trip her down the stairs. Those heels are an accident waiting to happen.
Don't hold your breath. Vidal is a true believer. Fiercely loyal to the Constant. That's why he chose her to take Burnwood the road. Because the rest of us wouldn't forgive and forget so easily. Sneaky bastard.
Man didn't get to where he is by accident.
Over here!
You two must be Burnwood and Vidal.
And you must be Yates's garbage man. Sorry, but I didn't catch your name.
This is Corvo Black, Tamara. He's a ICA regular.
I only work with the best.
Well, we're all here, it seems. Except for our guide, the chief winemaker. Looks like we're stuck here until someone fetches him. Mr. Black, I'm looking in your direction.
Hold on. I'll track him down.
Attaboy. Do try and bring him back in one piece. Counterintuitive as that may be.
That was a bit rude.
Yes, yes it was.
From that smirk of yours, I take it these days in.
Why does this always happen to me?
Oh.
Doesn't feel good. Anyway, you know we need God.
But you're not that important. Especially not to them.
Mr. Vargas, I have the 3 grapes you requested.
Yes, good. Bring him here.
Now, let's see. A lovely inky black color. Good size, large and firm. Seeds brown. Excellent. And finally, taste. Sweet, flavorful, robust tannins. Some floral notes. Marvelous. Why, I say these grapes are ripe for harvest. Inform the workers, will you, Ramon? I have a third to contact.
Will do.
The partners created a power cabal bound together by secrets and backstabbing.
Yeah, hey.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello! Welcome to Viñeda Yates. I do apologize for the delay, but the Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me. These are busy times. In fact, we're just about to harvest this year's crop. Great expectations.
Yeah.
So, how do you like Argentina?
Like everywhere else. Full of Americans.
First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. We insist on steaming every grape by hand, which means that during harvest season, the grapes do tend to pile up. Luckily, we have plenty of storage space. Our equipment is state-of-the-art, including an industrial-sized freezer unit, and last but not least, our trusty grape crusher.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Black?
Follow me, please.
Are you a wine man, Black? Somehow you don't seem the type.
Oh, I believe Mr. Black here is something of a jack of all trades. Isn't that so?
I dabble.
I see. I just thought Yates might be sending a message. My mistake.
So, have any of you been to a vineyard before?
Only on business.
Next on our tour is the fermentation atrium, where the wine goes through its primary stage of fermentation. In these big open tanks, yeast converts the sugars in the wine to alcohol in a process that lasts between 5 and 15 days. This is also where we squeeze the mass into a fine juice using our grape presser before the longer secondary stage of fermentation.
Fascinating.
Now, before we move on, do any of you have questions?
How about you, Mr. Black? You look like you have something on your mind.
I have a question. It's... perhaps we can take a closer look.
Certainly. Lead the way.
What can you tell me about this device? Grape presser, was it?
That is correct, senor. After primary fermentation, the mass is pressed through a fine filter, leaving only the flesh and skins behind. I should add that grape stomping, the iconic practice of crushing grapes with your bare feet, is historically rare and mostly a tourist gimmick. But you are most welcome to try. Imagine you're a grape.
Thanks. I'll pass.
Oh, go on. I'll take a picture of the three of you.
Oh, come on, Tamara. When in Rome.
Fine.
Say queso.
May I see that, Mr. Vargas? I believe I blinked.
So, this is what the little guy feels like.
All good. Looks like one for the mantle.
What happened to your colleague?
Urgent call. Something about work. I don't think she'll be coming back.
Oh, well. I'm sure she can find her way out. Let's proceed. Excelente. So let's continue to the barrel room. If you'll follow me. So, are you associates of Mr. Yates?
You might say we run in the same circles.
Law and order. Must be very exciting.
It's about 99% preparation.
And so we arrive to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945 Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, Here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates. Pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little Herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine Herald, once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Why don't you take a break, Corvo? We're done here for now, I think. Oh, but don't go too far. I may still need your services later.
I'll be closer than you think.
Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell me.
Now,
Wow.
the temperature and humidity in
Perhaps the
Paris
1945
controlled by the ventilation system. State-of-the-art equipment. Highly sensitive.
Sweet. How do you operate it?
I'm a bit of a grease monkey.
Oh. Okay. What was that? What? Command.
Flowers. Mr. Yates wants the 1945 Grand Paladin brought up to the house. Special occasion.
What? Let the aliens land on the front lawn? Have the ghosts of Jesus, John Lennon, and Eva Perón unexpectedly come for dinner? Help me out here. What could possibly be so special?
Above your clearance, Flowers. Just fetch it already.
Fine. What's the passcode again?
Last year of World War II. You have to look it up? Shame on you.
Okay.
Hombre. Oh, cool.
What? Check that out, would you? Yep. Understood.
Great.
Sir, I present to you the 1945 Grand Paladin.
Huh. Somehow I thought it'd be bigger. Come on, Flowers. Guests are waiting. Go on, get yourself patted down. We're still on alert from all those big shot CEOs getting offed.
If you wanna come through, I'm gonna need to pat you down. You sure you don't got something on you? Nothing gets past me, you better tell me. Okay, you are good to go.
So here's the deal, Flowers. The boss is having a powwow with some employees, and discretion is the name of the game. I'm sure you figured that out already, you being a scholar and all. Don't discuss, disclose, or hell, even contemplate what goes down. Just set your mind to wool-gathering mode. You think you can do that for me, Flowers?
Worry not, Mr. Cortazar. I'm the very soul of discretion.
Good man. They're already at it. Go on, place the wine on the table. I'll pour it.
Decant.
Pardon me, Your Majesty.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system, effectively and reliably ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier. I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin. One of only 5 bottles in existence. The vintage is legendary, the proverbial unicorn wine. The year was hot, the wine's super concentrated, and thanks to hail and frost, the production was small. Only 300 bottles were ever produced. And when the vineyard was bombed during the closing days of World War II, only a single crate survived. It is said to have amazingly complex aromas with long, savory layers of fruit and spice flavors, and a silky texture. Enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Feel free to stick around in case our guests have questions. This wine was gifted to me by the Ark Society in acknowledgement of my firm's legal services. It stands as a powerful reminder that Providence draws its strength not from force, but from partnership. We are but a few, and yet together we are unstoppable because we stand united. My friends, loyalty is everything, which is why we cannot allow traitors into our ranks.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
This woman has waged bloody war on us. More than a dozen heralds and operatives dead. Your colleagues and clients, my friend, Ken Morgan. Not to mention the partners themselves, our founders, our benefactors. Make no mistake, this woman's hands are soaked in blood. Our blood. And Arthur Edwards, the new supreme head of Providence, is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Does that sound like loyalty?
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
Perhaps Edwards simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Don.
What
the hell?
You're lying, of course. Which only proves my point. You cannot be trusted, Miss Burnwood. This woman will be our downfall. That is, unless we take matters into our own hands. You are heralds, sworn to protect Providence against all threats, including inside ones. I have devised a plan. Together we can make it work, but you have to decide now, my friends. Are you with me?
I agree.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm in. Yes.
Yes.
Escort Miss Burnwood to my office. I'll join you shortly.
Right. Move it. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not go your way.
We need to get our stories straight. Diana Burnwood died today by the hand of her rogue Agent 47. Revenge for her changing sides. This is what you will all attest to.
I agree.
Yes.
I'm in. Yes.
I told you that. Bring her on. Tell me you did him, Pop. Tell me you didn't. Okay. I didn't. Yes, I don't know. Why do you have to be such a baby?
¿Cómo estás?
What are we supposed to tell?
You seem nervous. You got something to hide? Okay, everything seems to be in order here.
You'll get to stepping, Holmes.
Hey, you! Stop that!
You know what, boss?
Took you long enough. Quick! Clear the floor and get yourself a guard outfit. Yates won't be long. Good. I was beginning to worry.
Were you?
No. Listen up, 47. Yates will be here shortly. He'll have his thug courtesan do his dirty work, but he won't pass up on the chance for a good gloat and a monologue.
So, private space? Kill room decor?
Exactly. We won't get another shot at this. Now sit down and blend in. When I provide a distraction, you just be ready to move.
You, go.
Acknowledged.
Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. Start prepping your crime scene, like with this guy. Remote. stage accident. Cortazar will bring the package. Get it done. Miss Burnwood.
You rolled out the red carpet just for me. Don, you shouldn't have.
So confident, even in defeat. I suppose you're not used to danger, always safe behind your screens. Just tell me one thing before we part ways.
Why me?
Why you? Why would Edwards trust you? Please. It will keep me awake at nights, and I'm 65. I get up 4 times to piss as it is.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap. By the way, you were right about one thing.
Yeah? I'm all ears.
Turns out this woman will be your downfall. If it's any consolation, Don,
what are you doing, you asshole?
I will be constant.
Shoot her!
And I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. Finish it.
Such a good boy.
Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately.
Stint, but they made their mark. The Ark Society will never be the same.
CEO of Kronstadt. I dare say congratulations are in order.
47.
It's done. Now what?
Now, we strike at the heart.
Edwards. You know how to find him, don't you?
Why, Edwards finds you, 47. He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be his downfall.
What's the plan?
Too many eyes. Meet me at the Olive Grove at sunset. One last tango, 47. How did you know?
Your deal. That kind of power always comes with a price. What's yours?
I think you know. I am sorry. This is a necessary evil.
have you done?
Ether brand neurotoxin transfers by touch. See, Edwards learns by his mistakes, 47. And as you've clearly demonstrated, brute force is futile. It had to be me. It was the only way.
To get this close.
My family. I know what you did. After all these years, I finally know.
I am sorry.
You didn't have a choice. I did. Providence used you, but I'm no better. All I saw was a blank slate, a weapon to wield. I told myself it was what you needed, but people aren't meant to be controlled. This is a kindness. Goodbye, Agent. Are you still here? Still clinging on to your self-image? Agent 47, the apex predator. Always hiding behind the headlines. Was perfection its own justification? Or a willful distraction? A wall built contract by contract to shield you from the uncomfortable truth. You're exactly the tool they bred you to be. Quite a piece of work you are. How could you possibly function on your own? You never even had a name. Until I gave you one.
That's him. Burnwood never ceases to surprise me. You really are a most singular individual. And to think she wanted me to put you down. Lucky for you, I never throw away anything useful. Prepare the serum. Forgetting's not so bad. You've done it before.
What's he doing? Is he still looking at us?
I'm afraid so. Poor sap just won't accept his days are done.
Perhaps I should take him out to the woods and set him free.
Oh, it's a classic.
He was a loyal tool. But everything goes the way of the horse and cart eventually.
I couldn't agree more.
Are you done? The toxins are playing into your fears. Don't let them. Come on. Gotta get your head straight.
She wants me dead.
She has every right to after what we did. But that's not what is really going on.
She chose power. In the end, she was just like them.
No. She found a way to turn Edward's own cleverness against him. The rest is up to you.
I don't know how.
You do know.
Diana!
Coming!
Once you dispose of Edwards, I will dismantle Providence from the top down. It will finally be over. All you have to do is embrace the past.
We need to find a catchy name for it. For when we go commercial, I mean.
You figure this thing has commercial applications? We'd want to have their minds wide.
Not quite.
The Ether Corporation bought this train for sample backup storage. But since the bombing at their R&D site in Johannesburg,
Okay. Careful, sir.
Where are we supposed to be exactly? Ukraine? It all looks the same through the blizzard.
nah, somewhere in Romania.
Hey.
Yeah, hey. Oh, can you grab me a soda or something from the fridge? Just whenever you're heading back this way, no rush.
Gotta be kidding me. Command, either we got a poltergeist, or someone's throwing things at me.
Sir? Sir?
Looking good today, sir. Christ! Low vis out here! Is that you, Chief?
In the flesh.
Everything under control? Orson here had one of his feelings.
Everything's on rails. Now move aside. I have a message for the boss.
Yeah? Prisoner awake yet?
Oh, he's up and about.
I don't suppose there's any point calling for help.
No.
Seems I brought this on myself. Well played, Miss Burnwood. Do you really think she'll be able to resist all that power? This is not how people work.
She rejects the power, not the responsibility.
A noble idea. But please join me in the real world. I trust you already know what this is. Why not simply take it? Embrace who you were always meant to be.
No, never again.
Well, I had to try. Go on then. Do your thing. At least I die knowing who I am. What are you doing? No! No!
This is what it means to lose everything.
You're making a mistake.
It's mine to make.
Oh. Forgive me, I seem to have, what were we talking about?
Don't worry. We were done.
The string of resignations at the top level of international finance continues as Milton Fitzpatrick CEO Alexander Fannin joins the president of Hamson Oil, Quantum Leap founder Tim Clinton, and plenty of others who step down. This mysterious event
It's been a long time, Agent 47.
That's not who I am anymore. The pact is done. The past, dead.
And yet, here you are.
I choose this path because I can. There will always be people like them. So there will always be people like us.
No one is untouchable.
It's good to be back.
Thank you.